2019 is now open. Will you please stand for the procession of the students in the class of 2019, followed by the faculty and administrators.
Sam. That's my voice. Beijos. Nassim Badis. Assim.
Faculty and administration. Please be seated. I am pleased to introduce Dr. Kenny Bamford, Assistant Academic Vice President, who will bring greetings on behalf of Samuel Merritt University.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. And I know you all are very happy to be here as well. It's actually my pleasure and privileged to welcome you to not be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of others' thinking. Follow your heart and trust that it knows where you're going. Finally, stay hungry. Stay foolish, and do not fear failure. Failure is actually your friend. It'll teach you to be successful. Have a great career.
Thank you, Dr. Bamford. At this time, I would like to introduce Dr. John N. Benson, Dean of the California School of Podiatric Medicine.
Thank you, good evening. And before I make my brief remarks, I want to thank the individuals and organizations who are responsible for helping me put this together tonight. The Alumni and Associates Organization, who paid for the white coats and for the reception this evening. One of our faculty members, Dr. Tran, is president of that, so would you please thank the board for the generous donations. I'd also like to thank the staff that was involved in putting this together, Dean Irma Walker-Dami, of course, as well as Elaine Sanchez and Debbie Haynes from our office. Thank you to them. Looking forward to a very nice evening. So what is the white coat ceremony? The white coat ceremony signifies the transition from preclinical, science-oriented classroom setting to the clinical arena of patient-centered learning. From this point on, the education of these young physicians in training will include both the immense responsibility of caring for another human being and what is considered a sacred privilege, the right to touch another person, historically known as the laying on of hands. The presentation of the white coat represents the first step in that passage. The white coat ceremony was originated in 1993 at Columbia University by Dr. Arnold Gold. Traditionally, it is customary for graduating medical students to recite the 2,500-year-old Hippocratic Oath, obligating themselves to the highest professional standards for patient care and the practice of medicine. Dr. Gold, however, believed, and I concur completely, that waiting for graduation was 4 years too long and too late. Rightfully, he noted that it is during medical school that students initiate patient contact and establish their professional persona, and that medical students should be provided well-defined guidelines and principles. Thus was born the inspiration for the establishment and advocacy of the white coat ceremony. Interestingly, the question has been raised as to whether or not the white coat, which identifies who is the doctor and therefore does set you apart, is appropriate for the intended meaning and spirit of this ceremony. I believe it is, but not because putting on the white coat makes you a doctor. Instead, let it always remind you of the responsibility you are taking on, symbolically, and in reality for the remainder of your education and beyond. At this time, I take great pleasure in introducing our keynote speaker, Dr. Bruce Dobbs. While technically an interloper, he actually graduated from the Pennsylvania College of Podiatric Medicine in 1973. He came to see the error of his ways and completed his second year of residency training and received a Master's of Science degree from CCPM, now CSPM, in 1975. He has been a part of the CCPM-CSPM family ever since. Dr. Dobbs is certified by the American Board of Foot and Ankle Surgery, and it was through working with him, starting in the early 80s, on the board that I came to know Bruce and respect him for his professionalism and passion for podiatry and the education of podiatric medical students. He was a professor in the Department of Surgery at CCPM and is currently an adjunct clinical professor at CSPM. Dr. Dobbs has published and lectured widely 2010 recipient of the CSPM Heather Barton Award in recognition of his outstanding dedication to CSPM, his students, graduates, and friends. Dr. Dobbs also holds a Guinness record, but I will leave it to him to tell that story. Dr. Dobbs.
Do I look like a Guinness Book of Record? It was for catching a grape, just so, in my mouth, and throwing a grape. The day I left my first year residency in Philadelphia, the chief of anesthesia, I used to just catch grapes and popcorn in my mouth. So literally the day I left, he came dressed as a referee, New Zealand stuff, and they lined the parking lot out. And then they started throwing grapes, one guy, and I started catching him and spitting the grape out, and everybody would applaud. And I finally caught a grape at 165 feet, and one of the staff was a notary public, and we sent it to Guinness. And 2 years later, I get a call from a friend. Hey, dude, you're in the Guinness Book of Records. It was under human achievements. And my mother's very proud of it. It's between gold digging and grave digging and gold panning. Well, anyway, so I have a suit on. And I didn't realize there'd be all these people here. John didn't tell me that. I thought I had a white coat ceremony, but I guess I didn't. 1974. How old were you guys in 1970? I guess I did. So I figured, I look pretty good today. I got my suit on. My wife said I looked all right. But do I look like a doctor? No, I don't. I mean, maybe an insurance salesman, maybe a lawyer. But I don't think I look like a doctor. One second. Oh, yeah. Now I look like a doctor. Right? And I even brought, because they have theirs, I brought my badge. This is my badge from my hospital, so now you know that you're a doctor. They all have their badges. So it's a white coat ceremony, and now I look like a doctor, I hope. And you're going to look like a doctor. Oh, you know what? I need my notes. I have some notes. I don't know if I'll ever get them. There's really something magical about the white coat, both to you and to your patients, and anybody who sees you that doesn't know you. Did you get to wear these at home and put yourself in front of a mirror? You haven't really had them yet? Well, you will. This was in the back of my closet and it's shrunk. My pants shrink in the back of the closet when I put them on after a couple of years, but I know the white coats do. But it shrunk a little bit, but I don't know how it did. So people start calling you doctor. Even though you're really not. You're like a faux doctor right now. But you're going to have it doesn't have the names on it, and it says Samuel Merritt, and it's like a big deal. And you're going to look in the mirror, and you're going to go, this is what I wanted to do. And it is a big deal. And people will stop, and they'll see that you're a doctor. And they don't know who you are, but they know that you've committed to being a doctor. And you get the respect that I hope, and I know you will, but that you will earn. Part of which you're going to swear an oath to it. What is it called? Commitment. Oath of commitment. It says here, I saw it somewhere, I will practice always with conscience and dignity, and that's important. But this code's going to make you do that, because you're not going to want to violate the code. And I put one of my notes I put here is that respect the code, because it really means something. And the generations before you have made it mean something, and I'm sure you'll carry it on. But that's important that you understand that. And it's okay to feel pride when you put it on. Anyway, one of my other thoughts here is that you're not going to be a Mr. or a Ms. anymore, you're going to be a doctor. And they're going to call you doctor. And once in a while you get called Mr. Dobbs, Because, you worked hard. I mean, you're 40 4 years are hard enough, but then you have a 3-year residency program. And then you think you're pretty good, but you still don't know anything. It takes you John kind of alluded to it, but I teach a clerkship, if any of you are so inclined to come to my office, but I also teach the senior residents. We have a residency for them, and they spend 4 months in our office, and they get kind of impressed with themselves towards the end. And the highest compliment I gave one of them that just graduated, name isn't important, is that you're almost as good as you think you are. All right, so you want to savor your accomplishments that when you get to be a doctor. I mean, now you're not a doctor, but people are going to start treating you like one. My wife had me, she tapes everything, and I watched a show called Big Shots. Have you seen that show? So, it's a show with Steve Harvey, and he's got kids on it that are unbelievable. And the first one was this 4-year-old boy who started playing the piano a few months before the show. And he played Flight of the Bumblebee, and it was unbelievable that he did that. Yeah. And I was impressed, but you know what? There isn't a 4-year-old boy that can take out an appendix or fix a ruptured Achilles tendon. Because there's no gift that comes that way naturally. In order to do, I won't take appendix out, but I just fixed a ruptured Achilles the other day. It takes a lot of work. And that's what you're going to start your path to. You're only 1 year, I don't want to depress you, but you're only 1 year into a long way to get to where you want to be. I just took the test. John and I met at the American Board of now called Foot and Ankle Surgery. We're both on the board of directors. I took a test a couple months ago to be recertified. I mean, it never ends. I'm 68 years old and I'm still taking tests to see if I can still practice. But the other thing that's important, and what you're going through, is that it's a privilege to get up and go to work, even at my advanced years. I love going to work. I love podiatry. Podiatrists, I don't know if it's a secret or not, but if you ever see the list of satisfied professions, podiatry is right up there. People love podiatry that are in it, of course. And it's a wonderful field, and I'm so privileged to want to go to work in the mornings. Think of all the people that go to work just to make a paycheck, but they don't want to be there. You will enjoy what you do. And most podiatrists don't want to retire. They want to keep working because it's so wonderful. Imagine somebody thanking you for doing something and then paying you. It's like, it should be like one or the other. You know, they can thank you and leave, or here's some money, but they thank you for making them feel better and they pay you. But it's great. So, I'm getting to the end of my time. You ready to give me a little bit? Anyway, so one of the other things that was good, by the way, just to let you know, one of the things I'm most proud of is that I've taught 2 residents and I've taught their parents. So I remember the parents and then their children, they're separate children, but I taught 2. So I've taught 2 generations of podiatrists now. I thought that was kind of fun. Anyway, okay. So do you know the concept paying it forward? Yes. You know what that is? Mm-hmm. So medicine is replete with paying it forward. It's such an important part of medicine. And that's, the dollars are good, I mean, we all make money, but what we want to really do is earn the respect of our patients, support our families, enjoy what we do for a living, do it ethically, do it well. But what doctors have done for probably decades, millenniums, is that they've educated the next generation. So instead of paying it back, pay it forward. Do what John does, what I do. Educate the next generation. Show your enthusiasm for them. Open your office doors to them. Right now, you're going to be the recipient, so you can't pay it forward yet. You're getting paid, so to speak, but you can pay it forward later. When you go to a doctor's office that's opened his office to you, he's bared, or she, of course, sorry, have bared their souls to you because there's no hiding their patients and what they do. And respect that when you're in the office. And you're going to be doing clerkships, and you're going to be doing fellowships and residencies, and you'll see that. So those doctors that open their offices to you are opening their hearts to you, essentially, to educate you or help educate you as well. So finally, I want you to remember what I've said, I hope a little bit. I don't want to bore you anymore, but you're in this for a lot of good reasons, and I hope that you make us all proud of you. I'm sure you will. And thank you for what you're doing, and I wish you a long and prosperous career. Nice to meet you.
Thank you, Dr. Dodge, for those inspiring words. The class of 2019 has selected Dr. Bruce Richardson, Associate Dean for Preclinical Affairs and Professor in the Department of Preclinical Sciences, as well as Dr. Reed Rowan, Assistant Professor in the Department of Preclinical Sciences, to introduce the class. CSPM faculty members will present the white coats to the students. Dr. Eric Stamps, Associate Dean for Clinical Affairs, will present each class member with a Humanism in Medicine lapel pin, compliments of the Dr. Arnold P. Gold Foundation. Dr. Richardson.
Thank you for selecting us to take part and play a role in this very important ceremony. So thank you again. The class of 2019 has been a joy to teach. Obviously, faculty are in the profession because they enjoy sharing knowledge with the students. But occasionally a class will come along in which it's fun, in addition to being important. And that's not to say that the class of 2019 are not hard workers. They're extremely diligent, but they also have a great sense of humor. And I'll go away after finishing up next semester, teaching 2019 with many memories. Some that I have now, but there are too many to list. But the one that I would like to mention is Ashton in the Pump. Okay, without further ado. So, presenting the first five folks, Dr. John Benson, EPM, CSPM Dean and Professor, Department of Podiatric Surgery. Andrew Howe. Samuel Payne. Lawrence Chen. You my shoulder. Trey Corcoran. Benston Crichton. Presenting the next five folks is Dr. Eric Stamps, DPM, Associate Dean for Clinical Affairs and Assistant Professor, Department of Medicine. Patrick Derby. Olga Drogomiretsky. Sandra Armin Hayter. Michael Gloria. Avery Gardner. Presenting the next 5 codes, Dr. Sherry Choate, DPM, Director of Curriculum Development and Assistant Professor, Department of Applied Biomechanics. Danielle Greenfield. Cindy Guan. Jessica Ann Eastco. Lance Hopkins. Adam Hodgkins. Presenting the next 5 codes, Dr. Joel Clark, ETM, Professor, Department of Podiatric Surgery. Merritt Carr Mandawi. Simrat Carr. Ivana Kenwood. Asif Khan. Emily Cook. Presenting the next 4 codes, Dr. Reed Rowan, PhD, Assistant Professor, Department of Preclinical Sciences. Grace Kim. Now my pleasure to turn the podium over to my esteemed colleague, Dr. Reed Rowan.
Good friend, Dr. Bruce Richardson. Has been unforgettable for me. I'll never forget histology. And I know this class worked extremely hard. You're very good. I love you guys, and you'll do great in clinics. And the next presenter of coats is Dr. Bruce Richardson. Juliana Kulish. Oscar Learns. David Lish. Ashton McCants. Logan Mitchell. The next co-presenter is Dr. Alexander Raiselman, DPM, Associate Professor, Department of Medicine. Emily Mimi Wynn. Christopher Nolan. Samantha Maxine Ralston. Fernando Ramirez. Simranjit Sandhu. The next presenter of coats is Dr. Timothy Dutra, DPM, Assistant Professor, Department of Applied Biomechanics. Shilpa Sharma. You can have a brief pause here while the audio clears so everyone can speak. And we continue with A.J. Paul Singh. Isaiah Song. Nassim Natalie Tabri.
Yay!
Stephanie Tyne. The next presenter of coats is Dr. Mark Rosante, DPM, Assistant Professor, Department of Podiatric Surgery. Neil Trevetti. Jeffrey Tucci. Radisson Peter. Austin Bonasek. And the next presenter is Dr. David Tran, DPM, Assistant Professor, Department of Medicine. Nishu Vora. Isaac Wilhelm. Victoria Romaine Williams. Eva Wong. Okay, class, best wishes.
President Hippocrates could not have conceived, which I encourage you to read and reflect upon. Now I will ask the class of 2019 to rise and recite the white coat ceremony oath of commitment located below the Hippocratic Oath. I pledge my loyalty to my profession.
I pledge to respect the well-being and humanity of others. I pledge to aid the general welfare of the community. I will cooperate with my peers, mentors, and students for the benefit of the patient and advancement of the profession. I will resist considerations of nationality, politics, prejudice, and material advancement. I will practice always with conscience and dignity.
Be seated. Thank you. At this time, it gives me pleasure to introduce the president of the class of 2019, Kenston Cripe, for closing remarks.
Okay, I'm Kent, and I'm the CSPM class of 2019 class president. Coming to this school has been a life-changing experience for me. We are all incredibly privileged to come to a school that's been around for over 100 years now. Almost every podiatrist in the Western U.S. went to this school, and that's something that's really unique to podiatry. There's only 9 podiatric medical schools, and that makes podiatry a very tight-knit community. One of the coolest things about this school is that not only are we as a class all future colleagues, but many of our teachers are as well. In fact, we have teachers that were actually taught by our other teachers, which makes this a really unique experience. Through CSPM, we are provided with a lot of extracurricular activities, like volunteering at local marathons and clinics, public outreach events like the Diabetes and Wellness Day, and I even got to participate in the Oakland Triathlon when we first started here, and I still get to play on the school soccer team. Woo! Some of the biggest benefits about coming here is the fact that we have so many opportunities to interact with the community, starting from the very beginning. So first, I'd like to thank the faculty, not only for choosing each of us to be able to come to this school, but also for providing us with your knowledge and experience. We're incredibly grateful that you work so hard to provide us with the tools that we will need to use every day as practicing physicians. More importantly, though, you brought our class together. I've never met a more welcoming, compassionate, intelligent group of people as you've put together in our class. They've all heard me say this before, but we are very much a family. I spend more time with them than my actual family, and I have to say that I couldn't be more proud to call them my colleagues. So next, I'd like to thank my class for giving me the opportunity to be up here in front of all of you tonight. Being president has been a great experience for me. And as a class, we've been able to organize events like potlucks and going out to eat after finals, bowling, basketball tournament, or baseball tournament and barbecue, class football and basketball games. And speaking of basketball, our school's basketball team recently returned from Cleveland with the national championship trophy. They got the national championship trophy after going undefeated at a tournament between all the U.S. podiatry schools, and we couldn't be more proud. So Austin, Brian, Lance, Logan, Law, if you guys want to stand up real quick. And finally, I'd like to thank all of you in the audience, not only for making your way here tonight, but even more for your support in helping us to get to where we are today. Without all of our friends and family, we wouldn't be the people we are today, and likely wouldn't have been chosen to come to this school. Because of you all, we are literally living a dream right now, although many of us may not realize it. It's crazy how many kids all over the world dream of being a doctor in the U.S. someday, and it's so easy for us to take that for granted sometimes. This isn't an event any of us will forget anytime soon. Tonight marks a huge milestone in our academic careers. To me, the white coat symbolizes our transitions from students to student doctors. Up until this point, my academic pursuits have primarily served only to benefit me. Every class I've taken up to now I have viewed as a challenge to overcome, often with just the reward of a deeper understanding of how things work. But with the white coat and this idea of now being a student doctor, our academic endeavor is to acquire knowledge to serve our future patients. So more than anything, to me, the white coat is a reminder of my future patients. It's a reminder that we need to learn as much as we can in order to better serve those who come to us in the future, expecting our expertise and proficiency in order to solve their medical problems. In fact, we've even learned about the white coat effect when we're measuring blood pressures, where the anxiety of having someone in a white coat measuring your blood pressure can actually drive it up slightly. That means that we all subconsciously associate the white coat with doctors, even if for some people that brings on panic attacks. But it's something we should keep in mind every time we wear the coats. And in closing, when I was writing this speech, I wasn't sure if I wanted to leave you all with some profound cliche quote or funny joke, but it's incredibly rare that you get the opportunity to address around 300 people at the same time. And I wanted to close with something that I'm very passionate about. As future physicians, our primary focus should be on educating the public about all things that have inherently detrimental health effects. Our CO2 levels on Earth are higher now than they've been in the last 15 million years. We're ranked 26th by our Environmental Performance Index, and it's an issue that affects us all. So not only should we strive to ensure that our daily actions do more to protect the human health and ecosystems in order to protect what we have for future generations. That's all I have to say. We have food and cupcakes for everyone across the hall, and thank you all for listening to me, and enjoy your spring break.
Located across the lobby. Thank you for joining us this evening. The white coat ceremony for the class of 2019 is now closed. Will you please remain seated while the platform party leaves the stage? Will the members of the class of 2019 please remain at your seats following